Welcome to Soundbreaker. On today's episode, we're talking to Andy James, who is a jazz vocalist and a global performer with flamenco roots. Andy, thank you for joining us today on Soundbreaker. And for all listeners who might not be, my pleasure. And for all listeners who might not be familiar with you, could you please give us a small introduction and before we dive into it, and a bit about yourself?
Well, I'm started off as a flamenco dancer when I was a little girl. I'm from Melbourne, Australia, and my father loved flamenco, so I started with flamenco. My mother loved jazz, so I sang jazz as well when I was a little kid. And then I moved to Spain and spent many years dancing in Spain with my partner, um, who's also a flamenco dancer and a ballet dancer. And then I went back to jazz and moved to Las Vegas, and here I am.
Mm-hmm. And you are presently where you're located in
Ah,
Las Vegas?
yes, I'm in Las Vegas at the moment. Yes.
Amazing, amazing. And you actively still performing and 100% involved?
Yes, we do flamenco, jazz, fusion, and we also do traditional jazz, and we do a lot of original songs. And I actually flamenco dance on stage. I have two great percussion players from Weather Report who play percussion, and Alex Acuna plays many different styles of music. So I also have a flamenco guitarist who joins us as well.
Andy, what if you could take us back a bit to your early days when you before you started? What really influenced you to kind of go down that path and say, "This is what I want to do. This jazz music is what I love. Flamenco performing." What influenced you?
Well, my father was a complete nut for flamenco, and my mother was a jazz singer, a singer. She loved singing. So every day, nearly every day of the week, around the breakfast table, we would be listening to all sorts of flamenco and jazz. So I respected my parents a lot, and I actually followed in their footsteps.
Amazing. So that's where the love story started with jazz and flamenco and all of that.
That's right.
Amazing. Tell us about some of your highlights of your career. Who did you work with, and how did they influence you? Some of the jazz artists and flamenco performers and dancers that really kind of deepen your, how should I say, your love for what you do, and say, yes, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to continue and carry on this and really pursue it. You know.
Well, in flamenco, um, I actually got to work with Antonio Canales, who was an incredible innovator of flamenco dance during the 90s, and he's started an entire new style of dance. And I got to work with him, and I got to work with many other musicians as well that worked with him, but especially Antonio Canales. And then in the jazz, I've been working with some wonderful musicians. Rick McGitzer, who worked with um, Miles Davis, and Alex Acuna, who's in Weather Report, and John Coward, who works with John Patitucci and who works with some other wonderful players. They're just the best studio musicians, so I've been very lucky with that as well.
Hmm. Interesting. And how do you describe the jazz scene right now compared to the past? Do you feel it lost a lot of its fan, or a lot of its, how should I say, flair, or it's still there?
I think I think it's still there. I think music's become much bigger these days. It's a different scene, but there's some wonderful players out there. It's very popular in Italy. It's very popular in France. It's very popular in Spain. There's a lot of jazz festivals here as well.
Mm,
Japan, it's very popular in Japan.
amazing. A big scene in Japan for jazz. Why you think is that?
Well, the Japanese used to love flamenco as well. The Japanese love arts. When I first started flamenco dancing, all the kids in the class were actually 90% of them were Japanese in Spain.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it was. I was actually pretty blown away by that. But they have their own flamenco dance clubs. At one stage, there were more flamenco dance clubs in Tokyo than there were in Madrid.
Unbelievable.
Mm.
Um, Andy, tell us about uh, your latest projects and what are you doing?
Well, I put out a new album at the moment. We called it Happy People, and it's a flamenco jazz fusion album. We recorded it in Rome. It took a long time to record, actually, and it was a long time thinking in my mind to do it. Years ago, when I was in Spain, Chick Corea and Paco de Lucía said, you should, mix jazz and flamenco, mix the rhythms and sing it in English and sing it in Spanish. And so that's what we're doing now. We put
Hmm.
the album out. It was released last on March the 7th.
And it's available everywhere on all the streaming platforms,
Yes,
Spotify, everywhere. So you also self-distributed,
yes.
independent artists, self-distributors. Amazing. When any future new albums you're gonna start working on, or new singles, or if they focus on just promoting the current album right now?
We have a few other albums in the works. I have a Nashville a, an album that I recorded in Nashville with some writers in Nashville, and that will be coming out soon. Also, a big band album with a wonderful drummer named Joe LaBarbera who worked with Bill Evans. So
Hmm.
that's coming out as well.
Very exciting. And you're not giving up. You're still enjoying it. You're still in it,
Oh yeah, I
and
love it. Definitely.
amazing. Um, any opinion on, with AI being involved in the music business and the music production and creation, does that affect you in any other way, in any way, or you use AI to really enhance and advance what do you do?
Well, it hasn't affected us so far. We
Hmm.
record, we write our own songs. We record live. We record in the studio. We're still doing it the old-fashioned way. Um, Sometimes I think I would have preferred to live in a bygone time in jazz, but I've kind of learned to embrace the digital age. As far as AI, I have not really affected by it at all yet.
Amazing. Hmm. Any advice for some of the artists that influenced by you and by your determination and your drive and your talent, and that they're starting in and say, you know what, look at her, she's still in it to win it, and she's been doing it for a long time. Any advice for some of these upcoming flamenco artists or jazz artists?
I think young people should. Um, it's a great question, but I think young people should play music that they like, that they enjoy first and foremost, and try and reach an audience through things they like. Try and be original, write your own songs. Don't just record music to please the record company.
I see. Do you feel the music business, the changes that happened in the past 10 years in the music business, kind of did it change the business positively or really more negative to you, in your opinion?
A lot of artists were affected by the record companies. Um, that hasn't affected me because we have our own record company. We have a record company called Lecoque Records, and we distribute all our stuff through that. So we we're kind of like a family.
Interesting. So you do everything independently. You
We
record, you distribute, you do your own, probably you collect your own publishing and all of that, all independent.
yes.
What is your latest performance?
We're going to Italy in a week and a half. We're going to Rome, Venice, Bari. Um,
Mm.
we'll be going to Madrid to record again. Uh,
Hmm.
we'll be going to Sevilla. So I'm going back to my old haunt in Madrid, which is always great fun to go back to.
Amazing. Well, I guess we need to focus on promoting your latest album. Can you mention the name one more time and where people could, if they want to listen to it, stream it, download it? If you can tell us the title of the album one more time and where is it available?
It's called Happy People, and it's a fusion of flamenco, and it's available on Spotify. It's available on all the major platforms.
You heard it over here at Soundbreaker. The name of the album is Happy People. So go out there, stream it, support independent artists, because Soundbreaker, that's what it's all about. Really, we're here to empower and support independent artists, and this is the age of artist empowerment. Well, I just want to say, Andy James, thank you for coming on Soundbreaker and promoting your latest album, and many more to come. If somebody want to get a hold of you, anyway, how can they get a hold of you?
AndyJamesJazz@gmail.com.
Very simple and very easy, straightforward. Anything else you'd like to mention before we conclude this amazing interview?
Thank you very much.
Andy, it was a pleasure having you on Soundbreaker. I want to say thanks again. And please make sure to follow us on social media and stay tuned for our next episode. Thanks, and see you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to share the Soundbreaker podcast. And if you are joining us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.